What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We got Matt's Mind Mondays back for now, at least. I know we have quite a bit of new people here since the last episode, which was episode number 42. So we're on 43. The last one was November 19th, almost 2 months ago. I apologize for that. If you guys are brand new, don't know what Matt's Mind is, essentially here, it's a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, Lego, Star Wars, or even like not Lego, Star Wars related, you guys can put your comments down below, your questions to be featured in next week's episode. Of course, if you guys haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe down below. Of course, drop a like if you guys are ready for today's video. And let's get on into some of your top rated questions from the previous episode. First question here comes from Jack Jeffries. Do you think another 501st styled movement would undermine the original and make movements like this harder? This was my thing going into the 501st Battle Pack movement. There was a part of me that assumed that Lego would actually never give in, mostly because the movement was essentially spam accounts. I mean, yes, there were videos and there was a high demand, but there was a lot of spam, a lot of comment spam on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So I think that was a little bit of a hindering cripple to the movement, but in the end, Lego did ultimately see the good side of that. Now, I think another 501st styled movement will be hard to come by. I feel like that might have been a one-off thing, but if there was another one, I think it would definitely not necessarily demean, but bring down the amount of hype and the amount of respect that that movement would have right now, especially if we kept going in the future, like, you know, once every 2 or 3 years we did a we wanna insert your favorite set here movement. So I think that it was like a good one-time thing. I also think it's something that we should leave alone, to be honest. I think the 501st Battle Pack has its star moment and has its impact on the community, and I think if there were more movements, especially a lot of them, it would definitely bring down the amount of importance and significance it did mean. The Death Stick Dealer is asking, if you were to create a perfect set, even better than the 501st Battle Pack, what would it be and why? To me, my perfect set right now is a Venator, a UCS Venator. Hopefully we get one very soon that's scaled off of the Star Destroyer that we got in 2019, and hopefully it would come with 2 or 3 exclusive figures. I would love to get an Admiral Yularen and maybe another Phase 2 Clone Trooper, and then let's say maybe like an exclusive Jedi. But I think that would be a phenomenal set to have because it's sort of like the essence of the Clone Wars. The Venator is one of the most popular things, maybe right next to the gunship. That did come from the Clone Wars. Now, for me personally, I love big capital ships. I love big battleship cruisers and stuff. So the Venator, along with the Star Destroyer, are probably my 2 favorite vehicles and ships in all of Star Wars. So to me personally, subjectively, that is why it would be like the best set. But of course, that can be sort of interchanged, I guess, really for anybody who answered the question. Ethan Wilson's asking, if you were given Bill Gates' credit card and he told you can buy anything in one day, you can keep it, what would you do? Would you first buy all the Lego Star Wars and Harry Potter sets you will ever want? Question mark. This is like a Mr. Beast kind of question. If I had to be realistic, I probably wouldn't be buying it Lego. I'd probably be buying like actual essentials in life. But let's assume we're just doing Lego. Let's assume I walk into the Lego store and he says, buy whatever you want. I'm buying everything off the shelf. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. If I was going down in like a hierarchical order, Star Wars, exclusives, Harry Potter. Honestly, some of the new city sets are pretty cool too, but I think I'd prioritize Star Wars and exclusives. If we're going outside of Lego, I mean, to be honest, it'd probably be like a car and like money or something, efforts towards a house or an apartment or something like that. Hopefully that answers your question. Kevin's asking, what is your opinion on parting out sets on Bricklink? I just parted out the gunship for Christmas. I was wondering if you do it often. Are you talking, I'm assuming you're talking about like buying parts for a set online and as opposed to buying a brand new sealed set. I think that's perfectly fine. I mean, I think that's definitely a viable option. I mean, for example, I know people, when the Nebulon B instructions were released a little earlier than the actual set released, they were buying parts off Bricklink and making the set, which I really don't see anything particularly wrong with that. Now, if you're parting out sets to sell on Bricklink, I also don't have a problem with that. That's probably how I get a lot of my parts for my own mocks. I know some people might have issues with you buying a bunch of sets and parting them out to sell on Bricklink, but I'm assuming you mean you're buying parts to build a set from Bricklink, which I absolutely love. I haven't done it in the past. I've mostly been able to get an actual set version of whatever I want to build, but I'm sure I will be doing that eventually. Goofy Brick is asking, do you think the Mandalorian 2021 set that got revealed could become popular to a 501st Battle Pack style? Obviously, this was 2 months ago, so I'm assuming the Mandalorian set you're referring to is the Trouble on Tatooine. I think it's a good set. I don't think it's ever going to live up to the hype or the style or the overall excitement of the 501st Battle Pack. There's just simply not enough in the set. It's $30. It comes with the Mandalorian with brand new Beskar armor and printing, which is very nice. But I think the 501st Battle Pack, I mean, it's a great set. It comes with 2 vehicles, 2 battle droids, 4 troopers, all for $30. So I think I'd rather get the 501st more, to be honest, but I still think that the Mandalorian set is a really good one, It's just not as exciting to me personally as the 501st. Josh Reed says he bought a 501st battle pack and found 2 sticker sheets. However, a singular sticker was missing. Have you ever encountered a similar issue or know what may have happened? No. I mean, I've encountered missing pieces before in Lego sets, maybe once or twice in my over 10 years, you know, if you take apart like when I was younger and then my break and then right now. So I don't really have an idea of why that would happen. I mean, I'm sure it's just a simple error. Lego will replace your stuff for free if you go to Lego missing pieces or contact their customer service. They'll replace any parts or something like that you're missing for free, so you can go ahead and look into that. But I really don't know why that would have happened, other than maybe just you know, machine or human error on the assembly line, I guess, if that makes sense. Legion Bricks asks, if you can go on vacation anywhere in the world, where would you go? This is a pretty good question, and honestly, I actually really like the cold. Like, I love snow. I love, you know, sort of like chilly temperatures, like 65 and below is what I thrive in. So, I mean, I've been to places like Hawaii and Thailand where it's very tropical and it was amazing and beautiful. But honestly, what sounds really fun right now, especially because I haven't seen a lot of my friends in so long, if we can get like a cabin up in like, I don't know, Maine or something, like a ski resort, you know, 10, 20 of my best friends just having an absolute blast. Like, that sounds to me like the most fun vacation right now. I'm sure if you asked me 3-4 years from now or 2 years in the past, that would have changed, but that's my answer for right now, again, because I just haven't seen a lot of my friends in a very long time. And honestly, who doesn't want to be in a giant mansion house with all your best friends? Muhammad's asking, what is the dream Lego Star Wars promo? This is a great question. I don't know. It's been a while since we've had any real exciting Star Wars promotions. Obviously, it'd be within the realm of a minifigure. I just don't know what that minifigure would be exactly. I would maybe like to see a Katan GWP, maybe something like that, because she was in Clone Wars Season 7 and Mandalorian Season 2. So maybe I think right now, for me personally, that would be like the ideal May the 4th promo. I think that'd be pretty cool. Bob Ross is asking, when are you going to start a podcast and when am I going to be your first guest? A podcast is something I've been wanting to start for a very long time. I don't like the idea of having it over the internet though. Like, I want to live with, you know, a roommate who also I do the podcast with. That makes sense. That way we can do it physically in person, you know, cool, get a nice little cool video visual for you guys. So the podcast probably won't be coming anytime soon, at least until I move out, which hopefully is in the next 1 to 2 years. But the podcast is definitely something that will eventually happen, and Bob Ross, you will definitely be on my list of guests. NPM's asking, what do you think of an unnamed Clone Trooper CMF series? I think it would be really cool, like Lego giving us a bunch of different legions with just unnamed clones and maybe a few named ones. That actually sounds really cool. As far as probability Lego would actually do that, I'm gonna say it's probably next to 0. I think if there would ever be a Star Wars CMF series, it would probably be lots of named characters, probably from like the original trilogy and the Mandalorian, I would have to assume. But one of just clones, unnamed and named, you know, getting a whole bunch of different legions, sounds really good in theory, and it's actually something I would really love to see. I just don't think that Lego would ever do that. But I mean, if it was a CMF of unnamed clones, 501st, 212th, Wolfpack Legion, Shock Troopers, the Senate ones, all those cool guys would be really awesome to get in a CMF series. I just don't think it's particularly realistic to think Lego would do that. And the last question for today comes from Andrew Hall. Do you ever build things purely from your imagination, or is it always based off of a pre-existing thing like Star Wars? So what I typically do is I start a project based on something that already exists. So I see it on a TV show, in a movie, and I start with that as my canvas, right? And I sort of pick and choose what parts of it I want to portray accurately. But as I'm building, I usually like to throw in my own sort of creative elements in it and make it my own creation. So for example, for an Axis, I started off with, you know, the whole layout essentially, and then what I did was for the barracks, so we really didn't know what was inside the buildings because I built the mock before the TV series came out. So I took it upon my own creative liberties to make one building the medical bay, to make one building the barracks, and all that kind of stuff. So I do like to include my own little tastes and stuff like that when I'm creating something. I tend to start off with something that's canonical or in Legends material or something I can physically see, and then I kind of go from there. So thank you guys for watching today's episode of Matt's Mind. Hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, if you guys have questions you want me to feature in next week's episode, put it down below. Of course, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.